Hello neighbor, this is Curt at eTrailer, and today we're going to be looking at the Titan snow tire chains with assisted tensioning on our 2024 Jeep Wagoneer L. So we have our tire chains mounted on the rear axle, and that is according to the owner's manual, which is always recommended. Always do what's suggested in the owner's manual. It's a ladder style of chain, which is designed to really help you out when you're trying to stop in deep snow or when you're trying to gain traction to accelerate. Now, the style of the link here is called a twist link. A twist link is going to really help out in those deep snow situations. You are still going to get some adequate traction on ice. However, if treacherous, a lot of ice is really your primary concern, I would suggest a V-link or a square link in those situations. Now, this set of tire chains is made of a low-carbon steel, which is going to help with durability and some of the corrosion resistance. And the reason why this set is called self-tensioning or assisted tensioning is that it has these cams here which are going to twist into place and tighten the fit of the chains. And we're going to show you a little bit more about that during the installation. So let's take a look at right now at how we got these on. Now, the first thing we want to do is inspect our chains before we put them on. I'm wearing gloves for this. Now, in most situations where you're putting on tire chains, you'll probably have gloves on anyway due to the nasty, icy, snowy weather. But I always recommend gloves when handling tire chains because there can be burrs and things on these that can, scrape up and cut up your hands. So what I'm looking for as I have them laid out is I'm looking for any kinks or twists in the chain that can compromise how they're going to ride on the tire. Everything's looking really good here. I've also got it laid out so that these hooks are facing away from the tire. That way you're not going to do any damage to your tire by having them pointing towards it. So what I'm going to do now is come around, we're going to pick up the chains, and we're going to drape them over the tire, and we're trying to get them as even as possible front to back as we do it. The other thing we want to be careful of is to make sure that the chains are not coming down over the rim itself to do any damage there. Now that we have everything set up out the front, we're going to go under the car behind it and show how we make our attachments there. So what we'll find behind the tire is one end with an open hook and another end with 4 or 5 loose links. These links are going to be used to attach to the hook and can be adjusted accordingly. So we're going to go ahead and hook this on. Right there. Now we're going to go around to the front and do our adjustments there. Now in the front of the tire, it's going to attach just a little bit differently. We have a hooking mechanism here, and we have another 4 or 5 loose links back here on the other end that we could use for adjustments. When going through the first adjustment, it still feels pretty loose. So I'm going to go from the second adjustment from here, and then there's another loose link back here behind it that we're going to go ahead and hook through. Now keep in mind, the same way that we adjust out here can also be adjusted from the back to give you a perfect fit. After the chains are used a couple of times, you'll know exactly where you need to get it fitted to. So the way we're going to get these tightened up is by putting this end of the tool through this notch here, and we're going to turn it clockwise until it clamps all the way across. We're going to do the opposite side as well, and we're going to get it tightened up from there. That gets these on nice and snug, and what we'll do to kind of test them out is roll the car back and forth just a little bit, make sure nothing comes loose, none of the cams come loose and anything like that. And then we're going to add one more piece onto it just for some extra security. So I always, as snug and fit as these are, I'd always recommend a little bit of extra security in a tensioning device such as this. The way that we're going to put this on is by hooking it to these chains with the hook facing out against the hook, open end of the hook is not against the tire itself. We'll simply hook it through there and then go across from it. Now, one important note to make is that we really don't recommend that you put these hooks in any of the lengths of chain where there is a cam included. We just don't want any interference with that. And there we have it, snug and secure. So this is a look at the Titan snow tire chains with the assisted tensioning. Once again, this is Curt at eTrailer. Thanks for stopping by.